and we're live. Hey people, let's check to make sure our feed is coming through okay. Let's see. Hey guys, I'm back with the second Baby Steps to Greatness live feature today. 2 in 1 day. It's 2 days. We're in the season of 2 days. So if you are not with it, I need you to get with it, okay? So I am here and I'm checking to make sure. I don't see it either. There we go. We're here. All right. We're here. We're back. Hello, you all. Happy Friday for the second time today. I'm here with the second edition, second episode of Baby Steps to Greatness, Sierra Vista. And I'm here today with photographer extraordinaire and artist, April Kraus. If this is your first episode, your first time watching this type of broadcast, and you have no idea who I am or what this is, my name is Monique James. I am a creative consultant, lean entrepreneur, and small business strategist. And I created this weekly live broadcast as a way to allow me to highlight and shine the light on awesome businesses in my area, in Sierra Vista, Arizona. So every Friday I'm here with at least one, and now I can say at least one because this is the first day that we've done 2 in 1 day. So every Friday I highlight at least one awesome local business in my area. Hey, Anna. And I show up at their spot or they show up at my spot and we talk. You get to learn about what they do, why they do it, and you get to get a feel for the awesome stuff that's going on in what I like to call the armpit of Arizona. So we're here with April. So hello, Anna. Thank you so much for joining.
Hi, Anna.
So April, why don't you introduce yourself, tell our audience about how you got into photography. I'll tell you guys why I call April an artiste a little bit later, but we're going to talk about the photography first.
So I'm April Kraus. I am the owner of April Kraus Photography, and I got started in pictures when I was a teenager. That was a long time ago. I was a model for a minute.
Of course you were.
A minute, 5 minutes maybe. And I hated it, of course, but I found myself really interested in what the photographer was doing and all of that stuff. So that's what sparked my interest. And then I went to college, and the first class I signed up for was Intro to Photography, and that was back when we shot film and we were in the dark room. And then I just knew instantly that it was what I wanted to do, and I just never looked back. Never. I haven't stopped since then.
So you've been doing it forever. How long has April Kraus Photography existed? How long has the business been a thing?
So I probably started taking money for pictures 7 years ago, but I don't think that I actually became a businesswoman and took it seriously until about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay, and kind of being here in Sierra Vista, for those that don't know, Sierra Vista is a military town, and there's a lot of things that kind of come with being in a military town. It doesn't matter where the installation is located, you are going to have an abundance of specific types of businesses, at least in my experience, is being a soldier, being a military spouse. And just like in Sierra Vista, there's a lot of photographers.
Oh yeah.
But you and I say I have called you in my head an artiste probably since the how April and I met. The very first thing that we ever did together when I launched what was my second business, the Confetti Collective, and I decided that I wanted to host an event. This was February 2014.
Yeah.
And I decided I was going to host this event, and I barely knew April. I knew she was a photographer, and I asked her, I said, will you take the pictures at this event? And she said, well, I don't do events, but I'll do it for you. And she took the pictures, and I was like, holy crap. For the first time for me, as the client, I really saw the difference in what April does compared to other photographers. That's why, for me, she's been an artiste since then. She doesn't know this. I refer to her. If somebody says, okay, Monique, do you know of any photographers for blah, blah, blah? Or they say, oh, well, what do you know about April Kraus? I'm like, okay, listen. April is not a photographer. She's an artiste. So when you work with her, that's what you're going to get. And that is a premium service. That's not pick up a rock, throw it in a crowd of people, and the person with the camera that you hit is the one that's going to take your photos. That's not.
That's never a good idea.
That's not what that is. That's not what this is. So for me, being the customer, I don't know. I mean, I do videos and I know how to put my DSLR camera in automatic mode and take the pictures. Okay, that's all I know how to do. But I knew instantly from seeing your pictures that you were different, and that's just who you are. To me, that's just who you are. You're not the regular people. So like I said in that story, I mentioned that you said, and it was shocking to me. I was like, what do you mean you don't do events? What
right?
Don't do events?
Kind of photographer.
But that is the artistry of what you do. So what kind of are those other areas or those other types of things that other photographers would do, but you stay away from? And then why do you stay away from those things?
So I only shoot things that inspire me. I don't enjoy it if I'm not inspired, and it's hard to explain, but there's just a part of me that's inspired, and if it's not there, then I can't shoot it. And I just can't. And it's not like I just can't. I've worked so hard to find that voice that I don't know how to not listen to it anymore, which is really cool. But it makes it a lot easier to say no when people say, yes. Will you photograph whatever? But I do maternity, I do couples, family photography. I recently last year started shooting birth photography.
Those are amazing.
Yeah, those are really, really, they're really hard because you have to be on call for weeks at a time, and you have to possibly be working for a day or two. And you have to get up in the middle of the night and go and stuff like that. So it's hard, and it's really taxing because I'm watching a woman have a
and they're
baby.
not at their best,
right?
They're not made up.
It's
and got the
usually
hair
they're in pain
and everything. Exactly.
So it's really hard to. It really drains me, but in such a good way. I love it. I love it so much. It's so. There's just so much emotion, and it's so raw, and that is what I'm after. Like, that's what I want to do. And I probably feel the most inspired now when I shoot births. Like, those are the sessions that I really love the most. I just can't do them all the time because I have 3 small children, and I can't be on call all the time. I just can't. Maybe down the road when my kids are older and I can just leave them home if I wanted to. But for now, I do just a few a year. I actually have 2 next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of a lot, but
2 in a month.
Yeah. But I won't take another birth until January.
Okay.
Yeah. I usually need it, and I usually have like a day or 2 of recovery after.
It's like you on maternity leave, I'm on maternity leave.
Yeah. Exactly.
You need a break, I need a break too.
Yeah. But and I do. Yeah. So I think that's all of them. I do couples, families, births. I do maternity, and I do newborn sessions, but they're different than the typical studio posed, where the babies are wrapped up and they look kind of like dolls. I don't do that. I do more like a family session, but I incorporate the baby. So
okay. When did you know? Because I think that is so, as a business owner, that is so powerful to be able to say no, and know that you're okay with saying no, because because most, businesses, they're like, well, I can't turn down money.
Right.
I can't do that. I need to make money. But when you have honed in on what your brand is, who you are, who you serve, the kind of people you want to work with, it's no problem. You have no problem saying, you know what? I can't do that for you.
Right.
But I know
Yeah.
the right person for you. At what point do you think, from the time you started taking money, how long did it take you to really pin that down and say, I'm not doing that? Or I don't, because you don't even work with lights. You don't do lights.
I use
so
all natural
like at
light.
what point, like how did you figure that out as a photographer who normally you would see photographers kind of go on the same path? You see most doing the same kind of thing, but how did you figure that out about you and say, okay, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this, but I am going to do these things because they inspire me?
I think it took years, and it happened really slowly. Like I slowly started weeding out things that I used to have a off-camera flash that I would use. I never liked the photos that I took with it. You know, they just never came out like anything I was proud of. But eventually I sold that. I started following photographers that were more like I am now. And I just started listening to their advice and listening to them when they would say, like, well, I do this because this is how I want to do it.
Yeah.
And I just started slowly weeding things out. And then my husband was like a big part of that too. He kind of called me out one day and he was like, I don't know what you're doing. Like,
why are you doing this?
You just take anything and, you know, and I got really mad at him at first. He's like, you're so mean. I can't believe you said that. But he was totally right. And he was just kind of like trying to nudge me in that direction of like, you have to choose. Like, you can't be an artist and, you know, do whatever.
Right.
You have to do whatever, which is fine if that's what you want to do, or be an artist and, you know, find your voice and stay on that path.
Right.
So it just all happened really slowly. And then I think the first time I ever said no, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said no. But then afterward, I was really happy about it. And it felt really good and felt like the right thing. And now it doesn't bother me. Yeah.
And then
it's great. Actually.
When you say no to the ones that you don't want to work with, that frees you up to be, and that is going to open you up and attract the people that want the kind of work that you do.
Yeah.
You know, that is going to make your client base a lot smaller, but more responsive and more impactful, because the people that want you, they want you and they don't want anybody else. So that's awesome.
And I'm making work that I'm proud of. And I'm, you know, when I work with clients that are right for me, the work that I make is the work that I want to show, which attracts more people like that. Like if I get somebody who inquires with me and they're, you know, they want to send me a Pinterest board, or they want to tell me how it's going to go, then I won't work with them. And it's not that, you know, it's just I can't work that way. Like I need people to understand that it's my shoot. Like the photos are for you, and I care about what you want. All those things matter, but it's my vision, and I can't make your vision. I can only make mine.
Right.
So people that understand that are.
And then if you're going to come and tell me how to take the pictures, then you take your own picture.
Right.
That's what I would do.
Right.
Because I don't have that thing. But you know, you have to know when it's time to fire a client, or, you know, somebody is going to come in and, like you said, direct the shoot, then they don't respect you for your expertise. Because if you think you could tell me how to do my job better, then why are you here? And
I think that there are photographers that can work like that. Like they are just maybe more technical than me, or I don't know, they just work differently. But I can't. Like it completely hinders my creativity, and I don't know. It just blocks me, and I can't work that way.
And I think that is the difference between somebody that is an artist that happens to create art with a camera. That's you. And a photographer. Yeah, that's the difference.
I really don't consider myself a photographer. I say I'm a photographer when people ask me,
because that's what people.
It's easier.
Yeah.
But I really don't consider myself one. I think of myself as an artist, and I never even actually wanted to take clients when I was in college. I just wanted to be a working artist.
Like, leave me alone.
My senior thesis, my show, because you have to have an exhibit when you graduate in college. I didn't even have any photographs. Yeah. I was a photography major and I didn't even have any photographs. So it was definitely, you know, an artistic expression, and it wasn't based on the medium at all. But yeah, I never wanted to take clients because I thought you had to do it a certain way. I thought it had to be, you had a studio and then you had people come in and then they would sit in front of your camera and they would smile and you would flash a light in their face. And, you know, it was all very sterile and...
that's a good word.
Like...
Cookie cutter.
Planned out. What's the word? There's a word.
Orchestrated.
Yes. And that's not how I work. I mean, I do guide my clients. I don't... you know, every shoot that I do differently. But... yeah, I always wanted to be an artist, and it just took me a long time. It took me years to figure out how to do that, and also be a businesswoman at the same time. Because to be an artist is like the starving artist thing is real, you know. It's not just to sing for no reason, you know.
It's real, you guys. It's real.
It's real.
So one of the things that you don't do that I see a lot of photographers doing. And I assume they do it, you know, because they're quick and you could churn out more at a time, are the mini sessions.
Right.
So
yeah, I get a lot of questions about those because I am on the higher end for pricing. And a lot of people want mini sessions because they're cheaper usually. But I absolutely can't. I've actually tried to do mini sessions and it never works. Because I don't care about time. My sessions are usually pretty long, and I need that time to connect with you because I can't just show up and take a picture and then and get the kind of stuff that I'm getting. Like, there has to be a relationship built with my clients. I usually meet with my clients once, twice, 3 times before a shoot. I style all of my clients. All of those things take time, and then usually at a shoot we'll spend time talking or, you know, just connecting. Most of my clients are my friends, whether they start out as my friends or not. They end up being my friends because I have to have that relationship with them. Otherwise, I would just have, you know, regular pictures of them.
And that wouldn't come through in the photos.
Right.
Yeah.
And all of that connection takes time. So I can't work quickly. And, you know, it's a process to work with me. But, you know, I think that I've finally started to find that client base of people that are interested in that process because they value what I do. Some people are like, how much are you? Well, okay, we're probably not going to work together because...
Wrong question.
Yeah.
Right out the
I
gate.
mean, you're just shopping around for photographers and you haven't seen anything of my work. So you should back up and go look at photographers' work and then decide based on that. I mean, obviously we all have a price point, you know. But, you know, the price should not be the first thing that you look at when you're shopping for photographers. So... yeah, I
mean, unless you want to just go to Sears.
Right.
I mean, you would just go to Sears.
Or just have your friend take a picture with their phone.
Or that.
You know, I mean, if that's what if you just want something quick. I mean, there are some photographers, especially locally, that do mini sessions that I think they do a beautiful job. But it's just not, I can't do it. Yeah. I can't work that way. You know, I've tried to do a 20-minute session and it turns into an hour and a half. You know? And it's like,
you can't do that. What are you doing?
I know.
No, you can't do because that. For you, the creativity is a major part of it. It's big.
Yeah, it's huge. And I can't work with people that don't trust me. Like that's another thing that really hinders my creativity. If I don't have your trust, then I can't photograph you in the way that I do. And, you know, you can't have trust if you don't have a relationship and if there isn't some time spent. I mean, like, you know, we don't have to, you know, spend... you know,
go on a date or anything,
right?
But you know, you got to at least.
There has to be some kind of a relationship and trust and all of that for me to do.
Okay, so speaking of the trust, relationship, all of that stuff, this is like very off script. Boudoir.
Okay.
You do boudoir.
I do.
Well.
Thank you.
Like very well.
Thank you.
And I think that again is due to everything you just said. You take that time. You want to get to know them. You got to be creatively inspired, and it's this and it's that. What attracts you to doing boudoir? And because I only asked the question.
I didn't even mention that when I was listing what I do. I do.
Well,
boudoir,
but you don't do it. People do it now for the money.
Yeah.
You don't do it for the money.
No.
And that comes through in the pictures. So, like, what's that pull for you?
It's women. I love women. I think that we are awesome and beautiful, and I love making them feel so. I love making them feel like they're beautiful, and then showing them after I photograph them, like this is you, and a lot of times they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that's me, you know. But I think we're awesome, and usually even in my family session, like the woman, the mom is the star of the show. Like I think that we're awesome, and women inspire me, and you know, I like helping women build their confidence and all those things. So I really love it, and those are much different than my other sessions, because you know I do have to pose my clients when I'm doing boudoir, because nobody knows how to pose for a boudoir session. You know, we're not professional models, so I do have to know that, and so those are a little bit more you know, scripted, but there is still a lot of natural things that happen during those, and but yeah, I mean, you absolutely have to have somebody's trust. I mean, someone is being very vulnerable to let you photograph them and trust you with that. So it's a very big deal, and I do love those. I don't even know why I didn't mention those, but yeah.
I got you. That's what we do. I know. Okay, so one of the other things that you do, again, from the business perspective that I love, is you sell what you know. That's what it is. That's going to be a t-shirt, sell what you know. But you do that through your photography classes.
Yes.
You teach, you teach, you breed other photographers. Yeah. I think that's awesome, because in this day and age, especially, you know, for me coming from corporate, where information is power, so people hold on to it and they don't want to share. But you share your knowledge and your expertise and help other people do the same thing. So, like, what do you cover? What do you teach even in those classes?
So I teach beginner workshops, which usually have about 4 or 5 people in them, and it's basically like a first year photography class in one day, in one afternoon. I teach you how to use your camera. I teach you how to shoot manual. I teach you all of the basic things, the foundation of photography, how to kind of get started and use your camera and all those things. And then after that I do one-on-one mentoring. So someone who wants to learn how to edit their photos, or someone who wants to become a professional photographer, someone who, you know, just needs a little bit more practice, we'll go out and shoot together. You know, I do all of those things. I actually cover that entire range of teaching, which I really, really love, because I like helping people find their voice. Like, I can't really teach people how to shoot like I do necessarily, and that's really not what I want to do. But I can teach people how to learn to shoot the way that they can shoot, you know, in their own individuality, and
find their own inspiration and their own creativity.
Bring their uniqueness to it. So so it's hard for me. You know, a lot of photographers offer workshops that are like, you know, for the masses, and those, I struggle with that, because I don't really know how to do that well. I can teach you. You know, we can sit down and you'll be amazed at what I can teach you. Yeah. But you know, on a broader scale, on a more like open platform, I struggle with that. But one-on-one workshops and in-person workshops, I really love doing that. I really love helping people and teaching them and showing them, you know, how hard photography really is, but how much fun it is and how rewarding it is, and helping them, you know, take photos that they really love. And people come back to me and they'll say, look at this picture I took, you know, it's so good. And they're like, I'm amazing. And I'm like, it makes me so happy. I love it. It's really fun.
All right. So guys, really quick, who's that? Roxana says, I learned so much she learned so much in her one-on-one with you.
Hi, Roxana.
So who else? Nicolette's on, Mandy is on, Anna, Nat, Roxana. So you guys, really quick, since I'm using my fancy software for this broadcast, we are going to pull up, for those that are unfamiliar with April's work, we're going to pull up April's Facebook page and just scroll through.
You can do that?
I can do anything. I can do
you're magic.
I can do this. Okay, so hold on. Let's there we go. So now you guys are looking at my desktop, and we're looking at April Kraus photography, business page. And we're just going to scroll through. Wait, let me show you guys something. This is my favorite picture. This is me and my husband, you guys. That was a long time ago.
It was.
That was a long time ago. So April, it's art. It is art. If it's not photography. Yeah, that was a long time ago because I had different hair.
Yeah, I was doing, that was for a personal shoot. I was doing, just working on my couples work, just trying to find a different way of doing it. And you guys were my models, my beautiful, wonderful models.
So you guys, April does not do, this is art. That's what this is. That's what it is.
And a lot of these are actually from mentoring sessions. So when I go out on a mentoring session, myself and my mentee will shoot together. And so I usually,
I love this one.
Yeah. My friend Allie
I
and her
love that
husband
one.
Carl. I shot those in Virginia over the summer.
Let's do. So this, you guys are looking at just some of the photos on April's page, just to kind of see the stuff that she does. See, no lights, and I think that's why I love it so much too, because it's real. It doesn't look manufactured.
Yeah. There is a wedding in here, as you see, but this was kind of an exception. One. Yeah. So I don't do weddings because I don't like all of the forced stuff that comes with it. Because, like I said, I really can't shoot if I'm not inspired. So, the all this stuff that comes.
There's a lot of extras
that you have to document because it's a very important day. So, but that stuff just doesn't interest me or inspire me. So, I don't shoot weddings, but. This bride and groom, they're very special clients of mine, and their wedding was very small, and it inspired me very much. It's
still in your wheelhouse, like that. Yeah,
they were a very good fit for me as a wedding. But in general, I don't usually. If I get a wedding inquiry, I immediately ask, "How big is it?" And if it's more than
20 people. I
usually will refer them out to another photographer in town who I really admire.
Yeah, and trust. Yeah,
and trust, and know that they do business really well. So but I don't do those usually. Sometimes if it's somebody that is
special.
Yeah,
special. I mean, and again. You're the boss. You can do what you want. That's the beauty of it.
Right?
That's the beauty. When you have your own business, it's like, okay, well, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to.
That's the point. That's the reason we go into business for ourselves,
exactly.
Right? So we can
So
we don't have to do things we don't want to do.
So you guys, you have had an opportunity now to meet this lovely lady, artiste. She is an artist that just happens to use a camera as her tool for creating art. So, April Kraus, what do you want to tell the people before we get out of here? Like, where can they find you? What social media? We just showed on Facebook. Like, what other platforms are you on that people can get in contact with you?
So, I'm on Facebook, April Kraus Photography. You can find me there. I don't post as much on there because, Facebook doesn't show, I don't get as much, visibility there. But I'm on Instagram, and I post a lot on Instagram, and I post stories on Instagram. So like behind the scenes things of what I'm doing. Sometimes like if I'm editing, I'll be on my Instagram stories. And my Instagram handle is April Kraus Photos. And that's really the only other place that I'm on social media. I don't have.
You're an artist. You don't have to be all the places. I'll be all the places. I'm not an artist. You don't have to be there. Artists can be very blah, whatever.
Yeah. I can just play that card and be like, well, I'm an artist. I'm flaky.
Exactly. I don't have to be there if I don't want to. Whatever. All right, guys. So thank you all so much. We're closing out 2 in one day. So thank you, April, for coming and chatting.
Thank you.
And introducing yourself to the people. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for watching. If you are catching this on replay, share the broadcast. Be nice and share. You can also find all of the past Baby Steps to Greatness Sierra Vista show episodes on my website, MoniqueJames.com. Click the live stream show tab and it'll take you to the archive. You can check it out there. If you have any questions after this broadcast is over, just drop them in the comment box and you'll get an answer. Check out April, artiste. Now that you know the difference between artist and photographer, you'll be able to go out and make better decisions. Okay. So thank you guys. I appreciate you all and we will catch you later.
Bye.